Nigerian artist who goes by the name Kanye was recently awarded a Guinness World Record. His work, titled Impossibility is a Myth, is on a canvas measuring more than 132,000 square feet. That makes it the largest artwork of its kind on Earth, and it went on display recently in the Nigerian capital of Abuja. Kanye is 15 years old. He's living with autism and revealed his record-setting painting on World Autism Day earlier this month. His mother says though he doesn't talk, they want Kanye's art to tell his story, to give hope to parents of autistic children, and to inspire confidence in young people who are on the spectrum. The World Health Organization estimates that 1 in 100 children worldwide has autism. For the United States, the rate is higher at 1 in 31. Experts in Nigeria say the country has too much discrimination related to the disorder and too few healthcare facilities that can properly address it. So awareness efforts there are crucial. Hello, I'm Azuz. So good to have you watching the world from A to Z today. We've got a great discussion topic to keep things rolling. It centers on cell phones in schools. We've reported on the extensive time young people spend online. The U.S. Centers for Disease Control says that around 95% of American high school students use social media. And a 2023 survey by the CDC found that more than 3/4 of them use it frequently, meaning they check it several times a day. Studies have found associations between social media use and adolescents' mental health. The more time they spend online, the more likely they are to report issues like depression. Trouble sleeping, staying focused, negative views of their body image are in that mix. And the CDC survey also found that frequent social media users are more likely to report being bullied than those who weren't online as often. Are there any upsides to adolescents' social media use? Potentially. Many say it provides entertainment, it gives them a creative outlet, it helps them feel connected to others, and sometimes share interests with a wider group than they usually see in person. But it's because of concerns about social media's downsides that companies like Meta, which owns Facebook and Instagram, have added safety features that try to limit what young users see online and how much time they spend on social. And in an effort to keep them more focused, a school in Virginia recently piloted a program that prevents students from using their phones at all during school hours. Here's a sense of how it went.
Raise your hand if you're a fan of this new phone-free policy at the school.
It's complicated.
This Virginia high school looks like any other during passing periods. But notice one thing's missing.
I remember the first day I was sitting in physics, my phone was locked up in my bag and I kept reaching for it, but I couldn't. And the only thing I can do was sit on my computer and listen.
Wakefield High is a guinea pig of sorts. Students are expected to store their phones in this magnetic locking pouch throughout the day. At first, there was resistance.
People were putting dents and holes in the wall. Like, there were tables we had to get fixed.
Right after we got them, when I walked into the cafeteria, all you hear is like the bang.
Like it sounded like gunshots.
Greg Cabana, a government teacher at Wakefield, noticed it too.
The fact that they're banging pouches around the cafeteria trying to unlock their phone, this is proving our point right here of how meaningful and how powerful that phone is.
It may be too soon to fully understand the impact of phones on academic performance, especially talking to this group of high-performing students.
I think it depends on who you were before the phone policy.
But other benefits inside the classroom are clear.
Even just picking it up for a small time can take away from your learning experience.
The 2023 Surgeon General's report says up to 95% of kids 13 to 17 use social media. Former Surgeon General Dr. Vivek Murthy even called for tobacco-style warning labels on social media platforms, saying they're associated with significant mental health harms for adolescents.
The data also shows when kids are spending more than 3 hours on average, that they face nearly double the increased risk of depression and anxiety symptoms.
But a recent CDC study found about 50% of teenagers between ages 12 and 17 had 4 or more hours of daily screen time.
Every day, I go straight to my phone when I get home. Don't even think about the homework.
But when he's in the walls of Wakefield, he's opening up in other ways.
It's definitely helpful with social issues for sure, without the phone. Because I feel like I connect with more people and have better conversations than I could have had with the phone.
Student Karen Mine says it's led to a new kind of engagement.
Even just like at lunch, you like talk to each other, you know? Like people bring games to class.
You never experienced that kind of engagement?
Well, it was just like, and maybe not since kindergarten, maybe not since preschool.
And the students and teachers here say less isolation has meant less interpersonal conflict.
There were a lot less fights. I haven't seen any this year.
The movement to restrict cell phones in classrooms is growing, with 9 states having already passed a ban or restricted cell phone use in schools. And 15 states, plus the District of Columbia, have introduced legislation to do the same. But not every educator is on board, including Brandon Cardette Hernandez, a former public school principal in New York.
We have to teach digital literacy skills, like kids need to know how to use social media, and by an outright ban of smartphones in schools, we are not getting any closer to teaching those skills. Kids who are ready, the most vulnerable and the most under-resourced schools, who are already experiencing skill gaps, those are the kids who are going to be the most harmed.
There's also a very real concern about what happens during an emergency.
I know one of the biggest things that people are worried about was if there's like a lockdown and like there's someone in the school and you need to text your parents, and then all the parents would be going crazy because they can't text their kids, they don't know if they're okay.
Cabana points out that he thinks phones can do more harm than good in those situations.
Misinformation could be put out on phones, incorrect rumors, perhaps panicking when there shouldn't be. That would just be a hindrance to keeping students safe.
So several different viewpoints on this. We'd like to hear yours. Should phones be banned in schools? And what are some of your reasons why they should or shouldn't? Teachers, please subscribe and leave a comment on our YouTube channel under today's show to let us know what your students are saying. The URL, youtube.com/@theworlda2z.
World of knowledge. What was the nickname of the Red Baron's fighter plane squadron? Flying Circus, Black Sheep, Blitzkrieg, Dawn Patrol. Nicknamed for the color of his plane, the Red Baron commanded a group of highly decorated and highly mobile fighters called the Flying Circus.
On this date in world history. Rome wasn't built in a day, but there's a legend that it was established on this date in the year 753 BC by the mythical King Romulus. So April 21st is celebrated as the city's birthday. On this date in 1918, during World War I, one of history's most famous fighter pilots was shot down. Manfred von Richthofen, better known as the Red Baron, was killed in France, and in a sign of respect, he was given a full military funeral by his enemies. April 21st, 1836 was when the Battle of San Jacinto took place during Texas's War of Independence from Mexico. The forces of Texas General Sam Houston defeated those of Mexican General Antonio Lopez de Santa Anna, and Texas later became an independent republic. And the most famous photograph claiming to show the Loch Ness Monster was published on this date in 1934. But 60 years later, an elderly man involved with the photo confessed it was a model sea serpent head attached to a toy submarine. Still, the legend of Nessie remains. The Constitution State of Connecticut is where we're starting today. In the town of Windsor Locks, we're happy to see Mr. Mayer's or Myers classes watching. Hello to our friends at Windsor Locks Middle School. Next stop is at Concordia Junior High School. You'll find it in Omaha, Nebraska, where the Mustangs roam. Mr. Bainey's class is watching the world from A to Z. And from the Buckeye State, we welcome the Wildcats in Mr. Cattenhorn's class. Hilliard Davidson High School is in the city of Hilliard, Ohio. According to the Maryland Zoo, its 5-year-old chimpanzee named Lola can, quote, get a little silly at times, and get a little dizzy too. And like a toddler about to get wobbly or an adult about to get sick, Lola recently spun round and round before trying and failing to stay upright. The video is making the rounds all over the internet. That's one news story that's tough to balance, and it's easy to see there's something off-kilter about it. It's hard to find your footing when your world is spinning and your head is spinning, and it's all because you've been running in circles, or maybe you primate something that left you weak in the knees. We hope Lola finds her sea legs so she can get back to being a great ape once she's done monkeying around. I'm Carl Azuz, and that's the world from A to Z.